to football. This past Sunday, man. Sheesh. Dallas and Philly. Oh my. These guys. They know how to lose a game late, that's for sure. Dallas allowed a 80-yard touchdown reception from Drew Brees to CJ Spiller in overtime to lose to the Saints. And then the Eagles allowed a late game touchdown from the Redskins, or for the Redskins to win over them. And that's a divisional game. So that game meant more to the Eagles than the Cowboys did a game against the Saints. So right now the division sits the Giants, Cowboys and Giants or Redskins. Eagles are tied at 2-2 in the division.
No, Redskins is 1-3.
No, the Eagles are 1-3.
Okay.
And so there's a three-way tie in the division. And so far, ever since Brandon Weeden starting for the Cowboys, he's lost 10 straight starts. So is it time for the Cowboys to make a change? Where's the division going? Let's start off with you, Colin. Where do you think the division's going? What do you think the teams need to do to get a lead in division and be able to make some ground against the other teams in their division?
I think right now it's looking very good for the Giants, seeing as the Dallas Cowboys are hurt. Brandon Weeden is adjusting to the Cowboys offense, but they're still not, performing at the regular Cowboys level, or they need to be at the time that Tony Romo's out and Des Bryant. Eagles, they're still not all together yet. Their team is they just need to unify a little bit better. And we're not even going to discuss the Redskins because they
balled against the Eagles last week.
Yeah, they did. But like you said before, it's a divisional game.
They limited the genius Chip Kelly offense. The genius.
They did their thing. But right now, I definitely see the Giants taking like the lead in the division for now. If Robo comes back and just when's his projected time to come back? Like week 6?
4 more weeks.
Oh,
that's possible.
That's possible.
That's not a guaranteed comeback.
I see the Giants definitely taking the division. If my man's Eli Manning don't have any more hiccups like he did the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely see them taking the division. Redskins, I see them getting a couple more wins with this hurt Dallas team. They're not bad or terrible. They're just not as good as they usually are. So them and just the Eagles need to get their stuff together. Or if they don't get their stuff together, then the Giants definitely will take the division lead.
All right, Rashad, let me know what you think.
Well, before I start, Kylie, you don't think the Redskins have no chance at all of making it?
No, I'm not saying they don't have any chance at all. I mean, they're just not looking the greatest.
So you're 100% saying Giants.
I'm not 100% saying Giants because anything can happen throughout the season.
So
especially during the division.
So who are you going with to win the division?
I'm going to Giants. I'm just not saying 100%.
Okay. Cowboys. The Cowboys are. Well, we're a team for starters. We're a team. We're a team that can't hold it at the late stretch of the game right now. Now, the game against the Saints, we should have lost. We should have lost that before going to overtime. Honestly, he should have missed the field goal. But the defensive breakdown, that was a very bad defensive breakdown. Allowed CJ Spiller to have a wheel route out by himself, and basically that's from the replacement of Sean Lee, which was injured with concussion.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can't sit here and say if Sean Lee was in the game, that wouldn't happen, but that defensive breakdown wouldn't happen. But in the end, I still think technically we was going to lose that game regardless because he should have made that field goal before. So we was going to lose regardless. But see, that's the thing. We can't continue to stay in close games. Like these are 2 games. If Tony Romo was playing, honestly, there'd have been 2 wins based on how that game went.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tony Romo would have been able to deliver at least in the fourth quarter or third quarter, at least a touchdown or points in the second half. Brandon Whedon is struggling to do that right now. Joseph Randle didn't really help him out. Now he lost to Lance Dunbar, so the Cowboys are, just injury.
Yeah.
But having Greg Hardy and Rolando McClain come back, that gives back a leadership for linebackers if Sean Lee is still out, and that gives a defensive line presence with Greg Hardy. But as of right now, the way we're looking, I don't see the Cowboys winning the division right now. I have them actually. I feel like the way the Redskins are playing right now and the way the Giants are playing right now, both teams have a chance to win this division for how weak this division is. Our division is almost as weak as Carolina's was last year, which when a playoff team goes under 500 and makes playoffs, that's how you know you're weak. Yeah, it's rough. So,
if you think either the Giants or Redskins can win it, right?
As of right now,
but you guys have lost games the same way the Giants lost their first two games.
With hiccups.
Y'all have had hiccups in the game. Have cost you the game.
Yeah, but see, the hiccups is it's not the same hiccups as the Giants had. The Giants were still able to put points in the second half. We have not been able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We have not been able to really score in the second half of these past two games. That's not hiccups. That's just unproductivity.
Mm-hmm. That's just late game performance.
Now it's not the line.
Well, think about Brandon Whedon's pick against in Atlanta.
Now that was a bad pick.
Mm-hmm.
That's just.
Mm-hmm.
I still say that even though he's played over 18 games as a starter, that's inexperienced still.
Mm-hmm.
Because he only has one full season basically as a starter under his resume.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just, in my opinion, that's still inexperienced. That's still that's just trying to make a play, trying to be the hero at the wrong time of the game. At the wrong time of the game. That's when you throw the ball away. That's a play you don't try to force anything. You're not a quarterback known to be able to Brett Favre passes in there.
Mm-hmm.
And force in tight spots. You shouldn't try it.
Yeah.
Especially when a dude is sitting there right under it like that. All he had to do was jump up to get it. That shouldn't have been a play you tried. That was a hiccup. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But not being able to score in the second half when the Giants have been able to score both games, they blow it in some crazy way. It's completely different than what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If this trend continues, we're not going to score the second half. We're going to lose games.
Yeah,
we lose games. We're not going to make playoffs. It don't matter when Tony Romo and Des Bryant come back.
Yeah, if y'all don't win games while he's out.
And even though Des Bryant is expected to return before Tony Romo, I don't think he should.
Why?
Because I don't think Brandon Whedon can deliver enough to him as Tony Romo could. I'd rather him sit out, continue to sit out, continue to heal more, make sure it's completely 100%. So when him and Tony Romo come back, it's a lot better than his chance of getting re-injured, trying to come back early to help the team out with his impact. His impact will help, but I'm not sure how many points he can give you.
Okay,
that's true.
Well,
and Brandon Whedon can't give it the ball to him.
I agree with you because the Cowboys are just too hurt. They're just too hurt. You lose Lance Dunbar, and he was your most productive running back, torn ACL and MCL. It's just this is how many injuries can a team just. It's like the hurt season. You guys are just. It's legit. Who's next up in line? Sean Lee has not. I don't know when. I don't remember the last season. Sean Lee went through a whole season and was just healthy. It's always something. It's either shoulder, his knee, ankle, concussion. You can't really help that. You can't help it, but it's just the luck. Yeah. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just the luck. It's just he's just always hurt. I mean, he's a great defensive player when he can play, but it's just man, see, that's the problem for him. He's such a good defensive player that he's involved on every single play. When you're involved in over 50 plays a game, and I'm saying you're making 50 tackles now, but you're involved in over 50 plays, it's hard for you to not get injured. But I'm saying, but Cam Chancellor and them are involved in a lot of plays. They are involved in a lot of plays. And they managed to stay healthy. This man has been injured for about 4 or 5 seasons straight, Rashad. That's not good. Yeah, it's just bad luck. To a point, I don't know if it's your body health. I don't know what it comes down to. It's just he goes through the whole. Pretty much, I feel like his whole season is just always training. It's always rehabbing. It's always a concussion. Granted, you don't know how long you're gonna be out. You gotta go through concussion protocols to make sure your brain's good and everything. So at least that's the one positive of this injury. At least he's not gonna be out for a whole season thing with his past. But injury. It's a possibility though. Yeah, it's a possibility. It's just it's just one of those things. It's like, man, how many injuries can a team get? Like, thank the Lord you haven't had any offensive line injuries.
We just have
who?
The La'el Collins.
Really?
Yeah, he just got injured this past game. Oh. So he actually didn't play because he was injured.
Well, at least, but he wasn't initially the part.
He wasn't originally starter.
Yeah,
actually started return.
Yeah, you see, so I'm saying, like, you guys had your legit starting offensive line. Now, if you lost one of those offensive linemen and La'el Collins was hurt, it's just like, man, like this is a battle of attrition. Like you just who's next? Who's next? Who we got next?
We're actually pulling people off the practice squad right now to play for us.
Yeah, that's bad. That's terrible.
So that's terrible. But I mean, at least we're not the Eagles, though.
You're not the Eagles, and that's the crazy thing because the Eagles are relatively healthy. I mean, DeMarco Murray's been struggling with his hamstring a little bit, but they've been relatively healthy. But yeah, they sit at 1-3, and yet they were supposed to be. Chip Kelly apparently has his guys. The guys he left. He let Deshaun Jackson go. You let Jeremy Maclin go. You let Jason Avant go. You let Nick Foles go. You let LaShawn McCoy go. You said you needed your guys. You have your guys,
and you're not producing.
You're 1-3. And you're supposed to be the genius offensive wizard. You're 1-3. The Giants are 2-2, along with the Redskins, and also the Cowboys. But we just talked about them and their injuries. For me, I feel like the Giants are more likely to win this division because of the fact of how they found a running back in Rashad Jennings. Like, this boy is producing. And, you know, they've been doing this without Victor Cruz. And they just having Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, yeah, he's going off.
And they've been playing well, and their defensive line has been looking pretty aggressive also at stopping the run. But the only thing with me for the Giants is when teams hone in on Odell Beckham Jr., and then Rashad Jennings isn't producing all that well in the game.
How are they going to win?
Yeah, how do they put points on the board? Because the Giants go through spurts where they just can't get anything going. But the same can be said for the Redskins because, granted, they have a great running game with Alfred Morris and Jones in the backfield. They sometimes their whole offense is predicated on their run game. And if Pierre Garçon is locked up and Jordan Reed, who just got hurt in this past game, aren't producing, where are the Redskins going to go? And the Redskins have never been known as a big play team. They always just take little chunks. The Giants at least have the ability to take the lid off the defense. The Redskins have always been little.
And that makes me think, when Deshaun Jackson comes back for the Redskins and Victor Cruz comes back for the Giants, do they actually hurt or help the team? Because both of them players been injured. Both of them players, you know, are going to try to get back on the field as fast as they can, not be as productive as they possibly can. Would that actually hurt or help the team, or a team that already is playing with, that's winning now, that has chemistry, receiver, like quarterback knows who to hit. Their timing is better than someone who's coming off injury would be.
I think it's better. It helps the team.
Yeah, because that's still a great receiver.
Yeah,
but at the same time, they're not going to be a double coverage threat immediately. Victor Cruz ain't going to be the same Victor Cruz he was. It's just going to be like, it's still going to be the same. He's still going to be on the other side instead of whoever the other receiver was.
He's not going to be the same guy. But you still have a level of confidence knowing you have that weapon looking to your left, that you have Victor Cruz over there, and it's not. And your timing you're still going to have to get used to the timing, but it's not like he still can't catch the ball. Right. It's not like he's still not going to be a great receiver. Deshaun Jackson is still a deep threat. He still has the speed, and I mean, all you got to do is throw the ball to him, and hopefully he catches it. I mean, you just hope that your timing is off, that you throw a pick. That's the one thing. But they're still both crafty, speedy receivers. And then that just makes Odell Beckham Jr.'s job easier, and it makes Pierre Garçon's job
easier.
But
I don't see how it makes it easier, because those two players won't get a double team.
No,
they will still get single coverage just like it is now.
But if they still get single coverage, if those players get single coverage, because they come
Odell
back
Beckham and Pierre Garçon will still get double coverage.
No, they will still be double coverage, but then the other receivers can take advantage of their single coverage.
Yeah.
If you're telling me you're going to put just somebody's single coverage on Victor Cruz and Deshaun Jackson, I'm like, I'll take that. Deshaun Jackson's not I'll jump over you or Victor Cruz. They're not I'll jump over you type of guys, like Moss, you kind of guys. But they're crafty enough that they'll lose a defender. And I'm like, hey, if Richard Sherman's not lined up across him, or Darrelle Revis or Joe Hayden or somebody, I'll take that any day. I'll take them even if they've been out for a while. I mean, those boys are still experienced, and they've been Pro Bowl receivers. So I'll still take them, and they're still in their prime. So I'll take them single cover. You want to single cover them, let them burn you? Yeah. That's perfectly fine with me. I'm getting the yard somehow. And then once they start burning you, the safeties, people don't know what to do with the safeties. So then the safeties start sitting over on top of both those guys. They sit on top of them. Your running backs get easier running lanes, because safeties are all the way back, waiting on the deep ball, or they're sitting there double covering Victor Cruz or Odell Beckham Jr. or Pierre Garçon or Deshaun Jackson. So
leaving somebody in single coverage.
Yeah, you know, so there's always going to be somebody open if you double covering somebody, and that's just on the Giants and Redskins to maximize on when they get those players back. But